And the understanding was that the attorney as well, my Lord, Advocate Mjiyako, will be present. And indeed, even though I was not there, but when I received the document back, I noted that he was present.
The court was very interesting today, but guess what? Let's talk about a cameraman who never came back from lunch. The cameraman never came back from lunch. So this is where it started. And we don't know what happened before. All I know is, yeah, this is literally where it started. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe they had over, I think, 8,000 people waiting for over 30 minutes. And I think it took an hour before someone said, oh, let's just go ahead and switch on the cameras. So that's how much is missing in the record. So my question to you is, do you think Advocate Baloyi will give us the transcripts? Do you think Baloyi will make an exception and give us, members of the public, the transcripts? Because there's a part where Gininda, you're not going to believe this. There's a part where Gininda talks about that in all fairness, the sketch does not look like accused number 3. Can you believe it? I didn't hear it. That's what allegedly happened in the courtroom. Gininda himself said, in all fairness to accused number 3, the sketch doesn't look like him. I'll do my research. I'll be back with more information, but let's continue on with the little bits and pieces that we have.
When did you receive the statement?
Yeah.
Exhibit JJ?
I don't remember, my Lord. I don't recall. Because I was not there, as I said. Could have been a day, that evening or a day after, my Lord, but I don't have a recollection, my Lord. But it was given to me, my Lord. As a result, I filed it on the docket and followed things that were mentioned in the annexure.
Now, regarding Exhibit JJ, Mr. Ramusepeli put a certain proposition to Ms. Cronje, who took down the statement. She testified on the 17th of October, 2020, page 7 of the record. If you can put the contents of that proposition by Mr. Ramusepeli on record, it appears, as I say, on page 7, proceedings of 17 October 2020.
That proposition of the question being put to the witness must be placed in its proper context, my Lord. The entirety of the trial within the trial was conducted by Mr. Mngomezulu. So I think there should be a typo from the typist or something, my Lord.
There should be what?
I think it's a typographical, because I was representing both accused number 1 and 2, but the propositions were put by my learned colleague at the time.
Yeah, fine, but they're on record, are they not?
Yes. It doesn't really take the matter any distance, my Lord. We will refer to the proposition by Mr. Mngomezulu. On page 71 of the proceedings of the 20th of October 2023, line 4 to 6, if you can just put it on record.
Yes, the proposition is as follows, my Lord, from Mr. Mngomezulu. My instruction is that he has never or did not attach any initials, and he did not sign any statement, especially in front of you.
And the proposition went further to say he was taken to Germiston, where he was then made to sign this, to a place in Germiston where he was made to sign the statement.
Yes, my Lord. So what I have in front of me in terms of Exhibit WJ, my Lord, there is a portion for the deponent, and each page is initialed on Exhibit WJ. So it is initialed, and I'm referring to the document itself. So if one looks at the document, that proposition is not true, my Lord.
So which page is it on?
Each, my Lord. So I'm looking at annexure, from annexure. This is page 1. There is initial of the deponent. Page 2 of 9. there's initials of the deponent. And when I say deponent, my lord, I'm not saying it in isolation, because you have one by the magistrate, deponent, and the interpreter. So there's 3 on page 1. There's also 3 on page 2. There's 3 on page 3. On page 4, there is the magistrate and the deponent. Page 5, magistrate and the deponent and the interpreter. Page 6, there's 3 initials. Page 7, 3 initials. Then on page 8, there is a signature, and there's a signature for the deponent and the initials at the bottom, my lord. The magistrate and the interpreter also signed, but at page 9, there's also 3 initials, deponent also initialed. Then the annexures, the appointment certificate of the police officers who were there. The first one is Sergeant Mohane. There is initials similar to the one of the deponents. Same with page 2, which is the appointment certificate of Liserang, one of the police officers. Page 3, appointment certificate of Jonathan. There is initials similar to the one of the deponent. The annexure A, my lord. There is a signature, initials similar to the deponent on page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, and page 6. So all pages are initialed by the signature that is appearing under deponent, my lord.
So, Brigadier Gininda, in a nutshell, the upshot of that proposition is that the accused says he's not the source of this exhibit JJ.
My lord, I think Mrs. Kronye will be in a better position, because I don't want to be seen to be speaking on her behalf, because she took this. I can only comment on things that I know. What I know is that out of the discussions between the state and accused 2 and his attorney on the 23rd of June, arrangement was made that this document will be completed. And such arrangements then moved to the 24th of June, where Advocate Mjiyako, accused number 2, went to make this confession. Insofar as I know, he was there, he was the source. But obviously, if the insinuation or the point of contention is that, no, he didn't say this, I think Mrs. Kronye will be there. But I'm aware that there was an arrangement, there was a discussion. This document was then produced. After, my lord, it was produced and given it to us. As I've said, the discussions continued with the state, and there was no indication that there's a disjuncture or a distancing between the 2 documents. This is now Exhibit HH and Exhibit JJ by the representative of accused number 2. The discussion went along, so they stood by what was there.
I have an idea. Our mere police officer, do you notice that when it comes to this portion, this video clip, he is actually, changed. He's a changed man. He doesn't want to give hearsay. Sir, you've been doing that the entire 5 days you've been on the stand, reading other people's statements and speaking on their behalf and telling us about your inference. But now that it comes to Mjiyako, the famous, or should I say infamous lawyer, that has never come to the courthouse. Guys, don't you think that is absolutely ironic? That he's a friend of the court. He is under oath, but has never come to the court. He's never been called by a lawyer. Forget Mapiri, forget Kelly Kumalo. We're talking an actual friend of the court, a guy with an LLB. Not Gininda. Gininda's trying to get an LLB. Mjiyako's not there. And guess what Gininda says? I wasn't there, but you know what? I don't want to speak for him. I don't want to speak for him. It's best, and he goes on and on and on and on and on. And he reads us, I don't know, 8 pages of how many initials are there on each page. He could have just said every page has an initial, but no, this is Gininda. He's very extra, okay? Page 1 has initials, page 2 has initials. I could just pull my hair out. Not fair. I have a brilliant idea, Valoy. It's so brilliant, it is so simple. I know you made Mjiyako's write a letter, or you got a letter confirmed by the Law Society to confirm that he's an actual lawyer. Okay. And then that letter was read into the record, not even by him. I think it was read into the record by Upinki. Do you guys remember that? But how about you actually just get him to come to court? Why can this man not come to court? Is this around the fact that he has 2 different names? Remember, Patricia Mashale revealed he's under 2 names? Anyway, let's continue on. Let us continue on.
Now, if you say there was no disjuncture between Exhibit JJ and the previous Exhibit HH, can you just maybe elaborate? What do you mean?
What I mean, my lord, is that, okay, if you look at what is contained in Exhibit HH and Exhibit JJ, the similarities are there. It's just that in Exhibit JJ, there's more elaboration, more content is given. But the essence of what you get, my lord, is the same. That's the first part. The second aspect, my lord, I was saying, insofar as the discussions that I said were taking place, there was no indication from the legal team of accused number 2 that there's a distance. You know, they stood by what was composed in Exhibit HH and Exhibit JJ, my lord. I'm saying this because even after the 23rd of June 2020, my lord, I didn't testify about this on the trial within trial, but there were instances where I had to arrange for Advocate Mjiyako, who was an attorney at the time, with a certain advocate that he appointed to consult with accused 2. It was different dates, you know, where they will ask me and say, we need a permission to go in and consult, can you make arrangements? So, and that was happening during those times of those negotiations, my lord. Yes, my lord.
So on how many occasions did these consultations take place?
That's a hearsay evidence. There is no evidence of such notes that have been presented before this court as evidence. No reference should be made to those conversations between those respective attorneys, my lord.
Wait. I don't know what...
I thought this is Brigadier's
arrangements.
Gininda's arrangement. He says
Yes.
they arranged with him. There was a certain other advocate who apparently was instructed by Mjiyako, who is an attorney. How can that be hearsay?
Yes, we're not referring to the content of the conversations.
No, fine. I'm just saying. That's
Yes.
what he says.
Yes.
You were there, sir. Oh, you're just...
No, the request came to me, my lord. I was
Yes.
asked specifically to make those arrangements. And
Yes.
I did.
Yeah, on how many occasions did you make those arrangements?
My lord, I will not be able to remember, but it was more than one occasions at the police station where I would make arrangements and then I would communicate back and then they will go in insofar as the feedback that will be given, my lord.
Thank you, my lord. It remains a hearsay, my lord, with due respect, to such an extent that the witness cannot even recall the number of those occasions, had at least a diary or any notes or any indication.
No. How is it? If I forget a fact, even if I was there, then it's hearsay. It's the first time I hear such law. First time.
My lord, if there is no evidence presented
what?
before the court regarding those arrangements that the witness is referring to, that he made an arrangement between the legal representative of an accused person and himself and any other persons, my lord, that ought to have been recorded. It's either from the
Fine,
diary or
fine.
anywhere.
But
Then
that is not hearsay. That is direct speech, direct evidence. That's how
As the court
I was
will-
taught the law.
it's a hearsay evidence, my lord.
Oh, I see.
So God, please,
That's new law.
we differ with respect from my colleague.
What is it? Is it direct evidence or hearsay evidence?
Well, it's direct
When I
evidence.
talk to Mandela and say, "Oh, Baba, Tata,"
He testifies.
Then he says, "Oh, you know what, Mtanam, I've forgotten."
He testifies about what is within his personal knowledge.
Yeah, that's it, right. Okay, yes, let's go now.
Yes. In any case, you mentioned that you cannot remember the number of occasions that you had to make the arrangements.
Indeed, my lord.
Then if we can closely examine what the accused stated in Exhibit JJ, if you can start on page 2,
Yes.
there's a paragraph B, there's a paragraph C,
Yes, my lord.
and there is a sentence there. If you can then refer to the third paragraph.
So should I
Yes.
place it on record from the top, my lord, right up to...
Yes, so you can start right at the top.
All right.
Just to give context.
Yes. So paragraph B, my lord, says he is also informed that if necessary, he may be afforded protection against any irregularities, and that I will as soon as possible have any irregularity investigated by a senior police officer. C, that this is not a trial and that I am not hearing any charge against him. Then the question is, do you understand the explanation and do you accept it as correct? His answer is yes. Next question, do you wish to comment or have anything to say in this regard? Can you stop there?
Ifundeka ke ngalendlela noma ke uma ichazelwa ke
You're reading Mrs. Cronjes.
Yes, I'm reading Mrs. Cronje's confession, Exhibit JJ, my lord, page 2 of Exhibit JJ.
Yes, Mr. Baloyi. Is that necessary?
Well, there is a portion, my lord, that we want to place on record, and also just to place the contents of the entire statement on record, my lord. As we mentioned, This is with a view to section 209, which we have placed on record, yes.
So, as the court places, my lord, this information was placed on record by the magistrate herself, and it's before this court as evidence. What I thought we were dealing with were the contents of the statement to show markers of reliability or unreliability. That's where we are at, my lord, as the court places.
Yes. Indeed, we are going to get to that point, my lord, but...
What does section 209 say?
Well, it says the accused may be found guilty on his confession if it's corroborated in a material respect, or if there's evidence aliunde to corroborate what is stated in the confession. So in other words, my lord...
So that is evidence aliunde?
Yes. In other words, apart from this, the state evidence, a court can still convict the accused on what he says in his confession. There is the effect thereof, my lord.
Okay, right.
Yes. But there's just, can you just put that portion, the answer to the question? Yes. It's only that portion, just to allay the fears of my colleague.
For a second, I really thought, oh my God, finally Judge Rata is back in the building. He is about to stop all this nonsense and reading of stuff back into the record that has already been done by Kranje herself and all the other witnesses and all the other testimonies that this Brigadier Gininda is reading into the record. Why can't Brigadier Gininda tell us how he investigated the case out of his own mouth, so we understand his thoughts and processes and actually the facts that he used? But oh goodness, no, he's here to read us the summaries, okay? But I think I got too excited too soon, because for 1 second, Judge Rata said it is hearsay. It's not hearsay when speaking to Advocate Umshololo. And wow, what bravery demonstrated by Umshololo. They disagreed with the judge, but Umshololo is sticking to the script. She is putting it on the record anyway, and she ends that back and forth with, that is still hearsay. Ooh! And the judge responds, because he's so petty these days, okay? And he responds and he says, oh, then that's a new law. I didn't know that. A whole sitting judge. That was very low of the judge, very low of the judge. We expect better from him. But in true Judge Rata style, he's not going to do that because his boss is there. His boss, yes, Brigadier Gininda. I mean, we saw that yesterday. He ran, okay? He ran away and went straight to tea break without resolving the matter at hand. So Mzansi, let me know your thoughts on the exchange between Judge Rata and Umshololo. Let me know as well your thoughts with the judge finally coming back into the arena, but then still not making a ruling, because Brigadier Gininda continues to read into the record. Oh my God. So that is it from me today. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to end it here. I'll be back with the rest of my uploads, but let me end this video here so that it is not too long. Every time I say I don't want the video to be too long, guess what that does? The video gets long. If you've made it this far in the video, you know how it is. You absolutely have my heart, okay? You absolutely have my heart. Thanks for watching all the ads. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video. Share the video. Share the video. Thanks for watching.